Hello, everyone. It's us again, the team at Days of Our Lives Drama Digest. We know how much you all love the emotional twists and turns that keep you on the edge of your seat, so we've got another recap for you today. If you've missed the latest episode of Days of Our Lives on April 28th, we've got all the juicy details right here. Prepare yourselves, because today's episode brought us everything from heart-wrenching family moments to surprising confessions, and even some shocking decisions. Grab your popcorn, because this is going to be a dramatic ride. Shawn's heartbreak, the weight of family and guilt. Let's start with a moment that's sure to tug at the heartstrings of Days of Our Lives fans. Shawn's emotional breakdown after receiving a phone call from Hope. This phone call, as it turns out, brings devastating news about his father, Beau, who is in a critical condition. Shawn's reaction is one of pure shock and deep sorrow as he tries to absorb the news that his father's life is hanging by a thread. Hope calls him with the heart-wrenching information, and her voice cracks with the pain of knowing how much Shawn's world is about to change. The weight of this news hits Shawn like a ton of bricks. As soon as the call ends, Shawn, in a state of despair, confides in Jada about what he's just learned. Jada, ever supportive and kind, listens carefully as Shawn opens up about his overwhelming guilt. As the son of Beau, Shawn's emotions have always been complex and layered, especially since the tragic events that led to Beau's current condition. He has long blamed himself for his father's accident, even though those closest to him know that it wasn't his fault. As the details of the tragedy unfold, we are reminded of Shawn's deep-rooted fears, especially when it comes to protecting Hope. Shawn was convinced that Beau, in his tortured state, posed a dangerous threat to his mother. He thought Beau wanted to harm Hope, which led him to make drastic decisions that have haunted him for months. Now, with his father on the brink of death, Shawn can't escape the crushing guilt that has been his constant companion. It's in these heartbreaking moments that Jada becomes his rock, offering him the emotional support that he desperately needs. Jada, seeing the turmoil within Shawn, reassures him that he did everything he could and that the tragedy that befell Beau was not something Shawn could have foreseen. She becomes his shoulder to cry on, and we see the power of their bond, one built on trust, understanding, and care. The two share a quiet, emotional moment that reminds us of the strength of human connections, even in the face of overwhelming grief. Kayla's heartbreak and the hope for a miracle. While Shawn is wrestling with his emotions, another piece of the puzzle is coming together as Kayla, Beau's sister, learns of her brother's dire state. Kayla, who has always been a pillar of strength for her family, is crushed by the news that Beau is slowly slipping away. In a somber scene, she sits down with Steve and Marlena, both of whom are also struggling with the reality that Beau, once a vital and strong man, is now fading away before their eyes. As the three of them discuss Beau's condition, Kayla fights back tears as she speaks of the man she's always looked up to. She is devastated by the knowledge that her brother's time is running out, but despite the grim prognosis, she refuses to give up hope. The family remains united in their belief that there must be a way to save Beau, a belief that drives Kayla to seek out any possible options. But as she presses on for a solution, the reality of her situation becomes clear. Time is running out, and she has to act quickly if she wants to help her brother. In what could be a miracle twist, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon. A potential experimental drug emerges as the only viable solution to save Beau's life, though it's still in the trial phase. This drug could be his last shot at survival, but there are hurdles to overcome, mainly the concerns about its approval and its potential impact on the drug trials. The looming uncertainty of whether the drug can be administered in time casts a dark shadow over the storyline, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting whether Beau will receive the treatment in time to save him. Sophia and Tate's prom drama, love, regret, and redemption. Switching gears, we head to the drama surrounding Sophia and Tate. As viewers, we are drawn into the whirlwind of emotions between these two characters, whose relationship has been marked by betrayal, regret, and the hope for redemption. The tension begins when Tate, eager to make amends for the pain he caused Sophia with his previous infidelities, offers her a chance to attend prom with him. Tate's gesture is an attempt to right the wrongs of his past, and he desperately wants to make it up to Sophia for his cheating with Holly. Sophia, who is pregnant and more focused on preparing for her baby than anything else, is initially taken aback by the offer. She hadn't even considered going to prom this year due to her pregnancy, and the thought of revisiting such a momentous event in her life is overwhelming. Yet, Tate's sincere offer and heartfelt desire to make things right make her reconsider. There's a part of her that wants to experience a moment of happiness and normalcy, and with Tate as her only date, she finds herself cautiously excited about the prospect of enjoying prom. But as is often the case with Days of Our Lives, nothing is ever simple. Sophia and Tate's plans are hit with a major obstacle when Johnny, Sophia's former flame, hasn't yet signed the adoption papers for their child. Johnny, who has been struggling with the idea of fatherhood, is hesitant about taking on such a responsibility. He is overwhelmed by self-doubt and fear about his ability to be a good father. Johnny's internal conflict is intense, and viewers can feel his uncertainty as he battles with his decision. Seeking guidance, Johnny sits down for an emergency therapy session with Marlena. Marlena, the wise and compassionate therapist, listens intently to Johnny's concerns and offers him advice. She reassures him that it's okay to feel uncertain, but ultimately, she suggests that Johnny's hesitations may be a sign that he's not ready for fatherhood yet. She emphasizes the importance of honesty in relationships, especially when it comes to such a life-altering decision. As Johnny struggles to make peace with his doubts, he faces a heart-wrenching moment. He knows that he can't go through with the adoption, and despite his love for Chanel, he tells her that he cannot commit to becoming a father at this time. The conversation is painful and emotional, and it marks a turning point in Johnny's character arc. His decision to be honest, no matter how difficult, will have lasting consequences on his relationship with Chanel and on his own personal journey. Shocking confessions and heartbreaking decisions. As the episode comes to a close, we are left with more questions than answers. The storylines that unfolded today on Days of Our Lives were filled with raw emotions, difficult decisions, and moments of intense vulnerability. From Shawn's guilt and grief over Beau's condition to Johnny's internal struggle with fatherhood, the episode brought us into the hearts and minds of the characters in a way that felt deeply personal and real. We are left wondering whether Beau will survive, whether Johnny will be able to fully embrace fatherhood, and whether Sophia and Tate's prom night will be a bittersweet victory or a reminder of the pain they've both endured. As always, Days of Our Lives keeps us hooked, and we can't wait to see what happens next. That's all for today's recap. We hope you enjoyed this in-depth look into the latest episode of Days of Our Lives. Be sure to catch up on the latest drama and stay tuned for more updates from us here at Days of Our Lives Drama Digest. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.